Good morning, everybody. This is Rachelle with Grief Recovery with Rachelle. Today I was thinking about the loss of a pet. I think that is generally one of the earliest losses that we experience in our lives, our youngest losses that we experience. I think probably most people have experienced a pet. And the thing is, it affects you so deeply. I mean, that's generally your best friend or something. And then you grow up for years and years. Nobody really knows what to do with it. Maybe, their parents say, oh, we'll get you a new dog. And how many new dogs you get? I've had so many pets, it's ridiculous. Um, or maybe the pet ran away or just died of old age or just somehow it was given away or whatever. Loss of a pet. Maybe you moved and left it behind. Not fun stuff. The thing is, it affects the kids and they grow up living with it, but it affects adults too. So adults, I know plenty who are totally heartbroken over the loss of a pet. Sometimes it seems as though some people are more deeply affected from the loss of their pet than a human who may have left their life. That's not uncommon at all. But what is uncommon is a lot of people don't talk about it. As adults, I don't know, maybe there's a stigma or something in the person's brain where they feel like they can't really talk about it. And so they walk around with this broken heart, not saying much, feeling weird or that they're going to be judged or whatever, and they're just stuck with this pain. It breaks my heart, actually, because we just don't need to do it. We don't need to walk around with a broken heart. We don't need to walk around in pain and sadness because we don't know what else to do with it. It's okay to say it out loud. It's okay to seek help for it. We work with pet loss just as much as any other loss. It's, again, any of the more than 40 losses that you can experience as a human being. We can work on all of them. So I wanted to share a story. When I was learning the When Children Grieve program, which is one of the classes we teach, helping kids, adults helping children dealing with grief as it comes. So that way they don't end up like me, near 40, just learning how to deal with grief. That was really unfun. There was a whole lot of years worth of stuff that I had to work on. What if we could work on it when we're young as we go along and then we're good, healthy, minded adults? Imagine the possibilities there. So anyway, when I was learning this program, I asked my son, he was 11 at the time, hey buddy, mom's learning this program, can you help me out? I really need your help doing my homework. So we had a dog die at least a year before. My husband and I had him before we had kids. He died, he was 15 or 14, a big old huge black lab mix, Route lab mix. Anyway, he was around when my kids came into the picture, and so my son had him around for about 10 years. And I didn't realize quite the connection that the boy had, but he did. And so just over time in that year, I thought I was doing okay because I was learning the grief stuff for my personal self. I wasn't certified yet. And I would talk with him and do different things, but still randomly conversations about the dog would pop up and my son would just burst into tears for no reason. He's a normal 11-year-old kid, sassy and doing all those things, but he's full of emotion, which was super cool because I could see that he was still affected in different ways, and I could pinpoint that that was one of the things that was bothering him. So anyway, fast forward a year and a half-ish later, he's helping me with my class, and I'm doing the work from the When Children Grieve program. And it comes to a part where you're writing a letter. And it's not just any type of letter. It's a very specific type of letter. And we had done a lot of work to get to that point. And he sobbed. He cried. He laughed. He had every bit of emotion that you could have, just as though he lived the whole life with the dog right then in that moment all over again. So when we get to the letter, at the very end, you have to end it a very specific way. And the very last word has to be goodbye. So when my son is writing his letter, he comes to the goodbye and he is sobbing. He's crying. He gets up and he's walking around and he's just, I can't, Mom, I can't do it. And it was awful, gut-wrenchingly awful for me to watch him go through this super tragic experience. I mean, he was so upset. Eventually he comes back to the letter He writes his goodbye. I have him read the letter to me. Fast forward now, I don't know, maybe 8 months later, we have yeah, it is actually 8 months later. We went to see A Dog's Purpose. I hope you see that movie. It was really good. Anyway, we went to see A Dog's Purpose, Dollar Theater. They were at a school one day, and he's really emotional during the movie, and I'm thinking, oh no, I missed something. He's really sad. So we leave and we're driving home, and he's telling me, Mom, he's 12 now. I don't remember being that emotional in a movie before. And I'm asking him, what was it making you think about, bud? And how was it for you? And just all these different things that we do, the dialogue that we have. And then I asked him, buddy, were you thinking about Samson, who was our dog? Were you thinking about Samson? Were you really sad about Samson? Peyton said, no, I didn't even think about Samson. No, it was just a sad movie. I felt sad about it because there was so much love there. On the inside, my soul just was like, ah! It was amazing because I knew we did it. He was okay. He truly was healed. And so to see that whole thing over many months just happen and come together was completely incredible. So I will be teaching the When Children Grieve class starting in September 3rd, I believe it is. I'll have to look that up. You can call me for more information or email me or text me or whatever. But When Children Grieve is incredible. It's empowering adults, whoever is around children, who has access and just can possibly make a difference in their heart. I really encourage you to find a When Children Grieve class near you so you can help kids as you see them hurting, because avoiding it because you don't know what to do is creating some jacked up adults. I know this firsthand. So, because of my own experience, and then I get to go work with people who are brokenhearted from a lifetime of pain. So I beg you to please find a When Children Grieve program near you. You can find one at griefrecoverymethod.com, and I hope that really helps you. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I love you, and I'll talk with you next time.